Like I mentioned, sitting in the chair next to me already, Renewity Residential Assisted Living, a brand new luxurious senior living home in New Albany, joining us to talk all about their assisted living community. Welcome both of you to WAVE Listens Live.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. So we've got Courtney and Matt sitting here with me today. And for those who are unfamiliar with Renewity, why don't you tell me about what it is, who you help, and what the mission is?
Yeah, for sure. So Renewity is an intimate luxury assisted living home. We are a 20-bed home, and we really are focused on helping that aging population that really is in the process of transitioning from maybe living independently to now needing a little more assistance. We really are focused on that quality of care and really building the relationships with those who, with the residents that live with us.
And the population you're dealing with, obviously, it's a pretty vulnerable part in someone's life when you have gotten to the point where you just need maybe a little extra help. And maybe it's not even a little extra help. It just makes sense because either financially or you're living at home and you haven't lived at home by yourself for a long time, and it just takes some trouble getting used to. So obviously it can be a really challenging part of someone's life, not just for the person who would be moving into the assisted living facility, but also family members, friends that are trying to help make that happen. So I do want to ask you, Matt, about that part of that. I know you guys know how difficult it is. I know you guys know that it's never an easy process, but you like to make it as easy as possible. Talk about the why behind the people that end up sitting down in front of you and talking about how you can help them achieve the goals that they need to achieve.
Sure, absolutely. It's very dear to my sister and my heart. Is the reason why we started this assisted living home. And 2 years ago, my mom passed from a UTI while she was in an assisted living facility. And nobody should ever pass from a UTI because it's very treatable, especially nowadays with modern medicine and everything that we have to offer. Fast forward to May, my dad passed from a stroke, which he fell about noon at the assisted living that he was at. They didn't actually take care of any care for him till about 8 p.m. So 8 hours has transpired by that time, and the medicine that is available is not effective at that point. So we're like, we have got to change the way that we deal with healthcare, and we have healthcare for our elderly population nowadays. So we want to do things differently. We want to preserve that transition of life as long as we can, and ultimately we want to stimulate cognitive function in the brain, so that way we can hopefully extend that as long as possible.
And this time of year specifically, we're talking about the holidays, kind of you're seeing people a little bit more. It's a time to really start to pay attention. Maybe you don't see someone as on regular of a basis, and you see your parents maybe for the first time in a few months. You start to notice some kind of decline in some capacity. Matt, when you think about that, why is this time of year so important to think about how you can help your loved ones if you start to notice that kind of decline?
Yeah, absolutely. So personally, what happened to me is I saw my father decline, and you see it more so around the holidays because you're more exposed. You know, a lot of times you see him, you talk to him on the phone, but really you see him one-on-one in person at the holidays. So you can see what's going on with their physical status. And then you say, okay, hey, they're a fall risk, or maybe they have the start of dementia. We can actually take care of level 1 and 2 dementia residents as well. But you see that more so because you're really around them more around the holidays. So now you're seeing what's going on, and you can help come up with a care plan for them.
You know, Courtney, there's somebody watching, probably multiple, that could benefit from this, or who's hearing this story and realizing that they maybe are going through something similar to that. Talk me through the process. What's the first step? How do they just get to the point where they are sitting in front of you and can do something about the problems they've got?
For sure. I mean, it's really simple. You can give us a call and schedule a tour. We do welcome walk-ins as well, so maybe you're not quite sure when you're available, but maybe you're driving by, right, and you're, let me stop in. I always welcome walk-ins, but it really is just schedule that tour. I'll sit down with you before we go, kind of figure out what's going on and see how we can help.
So I've got a question here, and you'll have to excuse me. I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but it just says, what is Tovertoffel?
Oh, yeah, please, let me share. So it's a Tovertoffel, I like to call it virtual reality for seniors. So it's actually really cool technology. It's a gaming system essentially that we have tables set up that it projects down onto, has different games that are intentionally created to help build and manage cognitive function. So matching games, puzzles, there's pool on there, a soccer game, and it's all just by moving your hand, and
it's all digital.
It's all digital. So it's really cool. It's the latest technology you can go with things like that, and it's also a lot of fun.
And I feel like when millennials get to retirement age, video games might be the best option to try to keep people engaged in stuff like that and keep their brains working. As far as where they can find more information, you talked about what the process looks once you get started, but where is that application? Where can they reach you? What's the contact information they need to know?
Yeah, so they can always call. Our phone number is 502-758-1978. And then you can also visit our website at renewityassistedliving.com. There is a section they can fill out that will contact us and let me know that they're looking for more information.
So then, Matt, my question for you is, we got a minute left or so here. Why should somebody choose Renewity specifically? What sets you guys apart? How can somebody know that when they come to you, that you are going to be looking out for them and you are going to help them the best of your ability each and every time that they meet in front of you?
So most of the time you see people say bigger is better, but it's not. Because the functionality of what we have to offer on our ratio, we're about a 4 or 5 resident to 1 caretaker ratio, versus our competitors, which are anywhere from 18 to 20. They claim smaller ratios, but that's not the fact. And with a better ratio count, we have more intimate care for our residents. And that's what's going to set us apart, because we're going to be in one-on-one with the residents as much as possible, check in on them as often as needed based on their care plan.
And they kind of become like family once they move
100%.
into Renewity, and you guys, obviously family very important to you.
Yes.
There's reasons behind why you started this, and those reasons translate into business practices.
That's
and
right.
they can experience those every time that they're working with you at Renewity. Again, the website's on the screen, renewityassistedliving.com. The number on the screen as well, 502-758-1978. Call that number, visit that website, and get the help that you or a loved one needs. Guys, thank both of you so much for joining us here today
Thank you.
on Listens Live.